Alright everyone, we actually have dual tech news this morning. First, the story that I'll cover here, and if I stream later, I'll make sure that I cover the other, which is that Trump is now, for the first time, he actively posted on Truth Social, and they fully rolled out to Apple, and their site all of a sudden became the #1 app again. So it looks like Truth Social, rumors of its demise were maybe a little bit premature, although, because it was clear there for weeks, they were having fucking problems. It was a worse original launch than almost any other, that CNN Plus, maybe Getter, but now it's becoming active again. But Elon Musk right now is trolling Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez over Tut-Tutting about him being too rich and how dare he control Twitter, basically. Anyway, there'll be a link in the description. I'm just going to read what she said verbatim. It's cringe lunacy, but you can't expect anything more intelligent from her. When your constituency is a safe blue, extremely far left id poll district, you gotta say stuff like this. You've got to be, woman-splaining to AOC, to Elon Musk and stuff. But anyway, this is what she posted yesterday. Tired of having to collectively stress about what explosion of hate crimes is happening because some billionaire with an ego problem unilaterally controls a massive communication platform and skews it because Tucker Carlson or Peter Thiel took him to dinner and made him feel special. And he tweeted back, "Stop hitting on me, I'm really shy." Of course, AOC's thing was, I believe it was Tucker Carlson. He's like, "Oh, you're just mad that I won't date you." As though any fucking reasonable person would want to do that. Imagine having to spend any period of time in the room with AOC and you're not allowed to ignore her or walk away because you're dating or something. That would be hell. It's called purgatory. I don't know which circle that one would fall under. No, probably the Suicide Woods one, because you're not allowed to speak back or do anything. Anyway, think about it. If AOC were male and saying this to a female, she would class it as sexist. It's tut-tutting. The typical trajectory of AOC and Warren and some of these other talentless people is basically just doing the woman-splaining, browbeating thing, sort of like tut-tut. That's the bracelet jinglers, I call them. The HR spokeswoman thing. The Dolores Umbridge sort of thing. The overprotective, chiding, eat your Wheaties, aunt sort of thing, as opposed to maybe the cool wine aunt or something. It is deeply offensive to most people with any rationality because it's so moronic. But we'll go through a couple of the sub-points here because there are some other things we have to pick apart here because the claim itself is also highly inaccurate. Now, before I do that, first and foremost, keep in mind down below there will be a pinned comment if you're watching this video on YouTube with links to other video hosting sites that I use. Keep in mind that I make exclusive material every day on those platforms that does not go on YouTube. I have left Dailymotion. The archived videos will stay there, but I'm not actively uploading there. It's a waste of my time because, of course, they now have anti-ad blocking software. I refuse to use sites that do that. I'm not going to play that game. I'm going to block ads. If you don't like it, then you don't need one of your largest users using your site, which is decrepit anyway and has virtually no engagement, so fuck Dailymotion. Now, we'll go through a couple points that she points out here. She's talking about there being an explosion of hate crimes happening. Where? The insinuation is that it's on Twitter. Twitter has not changed. Elon Musk has acquired the company. So far, he has implemented not one change. The only change on the platform seems to be the partial end of shadow banning as the people at Twitter headquarters scramble to burn the papers and shred the notes. That's really, we're seeing a digital, paper shredding at the moment. It's like at the end of World War II, and the Germans are shoveling all of their records into the fireplace, basically. That's what Twitter HQ looks like, and apparently Musk is going to be replacing their chief officer, which means that the head of Twitter gets a golden parachute deal. Good for you. You get 42 million big ones. Don't be too sad about it. If you don't like it, start your own Twitter. You just got 42 million smackaroonies. I think you can probably afford to put a couple servers in your garage, right? You could buy Getter probably. Buy Parler. Run that if you don't like it. Run into the ground with leftoidism. But there is no explosion in hate crimes. Most of the increased posting on Twitter over the last 72 hours is basically people chuckling It's chortling. It's Clown World references and stuff. It has nothing to do with being hateful. By the way, hate crime, according to AOC, is that a person of a lighter complexion than herself happens to have more money than she has. Hard act to follow, since she's probably got a net worth in the post-$1 million range just based on stupid backroom deals by now. And then talks about a billionaire with an ego problem, unilaterally controlling a massive communication platform. So, like Zuckerberg, like all the other, like Bill Gates, like all of the others. Oh wait, that's right. They tend to be slightly different in their political affiliation. They occasionally reference free expression, but by and large, AOC is well aware of the fact that they're all censorious neoliberals. They're corporate liberals, and they do what they're told, effectively. They're taking marching orders from Klobuchar and some pink-haired freaks, and people at the ACLU and ADL and other moron groups, and the tabloid legacy media. Musk has so much fuck you money that I think that they find it offensive, the idea that someone who has like this other form of income that isn't related to the speech thing and the tech thing in general, to fall back on. I think what they're worried about is, imagine this. Imagine that Zuckerberg becomes a problem for Congress. He stops censoring things. He reverts back to being left libertarian, insofar as that can exist. He's got a problem. If Congress guns for him, breaks up his companies and regulates him and stuff, that's predominantly his wealth. It's Facebook, now Meta, and these other holdings. They're all tech. Tesla's not. Tesla's fucking car factories and engineering and things like that. You have space exploration with grants through the U.S. government. You have cars. You have engineering in the general sense, the Boring Company with their non-flamethrower and shit, which is a piece of shit and overpriced, by the way. Get a Russian imported flamethrower. It'll be twice as powerful, cost half as much. Just trust me. Sorry, Elon. That's a loss for you. And now you have Twitter. One of these things is not like the other. If Elon Musk goes full free speech warrior, and I don't think he will, I think this is a lot to do about nothing mainly, but I do imagine that he will bring some of the bigger names that have been improperly banned back aboard, reduce the algorithmic distortion, probably make at least elements of the algorithm public. There will be improvements. The site will be less censorious by far than the other mainline tech sites. I do believe that's happening over the next half a year to a year or so. And of course the staff, instead of looking like basically a neon rave party with all the pink hair and shit, maybe there will be a few normal people in Twitter's moderation staff. They won't all be transplants from Tumblr with fucking Reddit pages to their name. Here's the thing though. When he does that, it's going to be a problem for people like Klobuchar. Because the site will begin to grow. Investors will love it, by the way, the ones that remain, the non-leftoid investors. They'll attempt to attack the company, but it doesn't matter if it operates at a loss. Elon Musk doesn't give a shit. Not that I think that that's likely to happen. That's the big problem. Elon Musk can prop it up and use it as his own little miniature free speech paradise, and a lot of people will be attracted to that regardless, even if it devolved into a right-wing echo chamber. Technically a competitor now of truth, I suppose. I don't know what's going to happen with that. Trump swears he's never returning to Twitter. We'll see if he can hold out against Elon Musk making him an offer he's likely not to want to refuse or something like that. By the way, if Trump refuses to get back on Twitter, it could signal that maybe he's not 100% sure about running for president. With AOC here, though, she's the reason why she and others are so worried, and this is just a below-the-belt personal attack. His ego, they made him feel special. Dude, he's the richest man in the world. He doesn't need Peter Thiel or Tucker Carlson to take him to dinner to make him feel special. He can buy and sell your entire congressional district several times over, just so that we're aware about the amount of wealth that's involved here. And now you're salty because he owns Twitter and he won't date you. See, she was hoping to date, this multi-billionaire because, totally because she finds him interesting and not because she wants her own golden parachute like the Twitter head is about to get to the tune of $42 million. She'd do that. She's the sort of sleazebag who probably would try to get, video footage of him screwing her behind his wife's back or something in order to extort him. I would not put that past someone like AOC. To be clear, I think that that's probably her personality. Otherwise, she's just completely brainless. She's not even talentless enough to grift off some rich dude or something. But basically, this is just tut-tutting. But the reason why all of these people are so upset is that Elon Musk is the only person in that tech realm that can't be insta-killed by congressional regulation. They're not going to go after car companies based on Twitter. There's no vertical monopoly there. What the fuck do they have to do with each other? The only way in which this could become a problem is if Elon Musk starts automatically promoting all the Tesla posts or something, and Congress says, hey, cut that out because it's unfair to your competitors to use the platform. It'd be hypocritical. It'd be goddamn hilarious to see them make such an argument, and the humor would be lost on many people, by the way, that support these retards. But yeah, that could happen. Otherwise, though, he's got the untouchable tech platform. He gobbled it up. Now he can reduce the censorship on it, and they can't do anything about it. They propose regulation the day after he buys it before he does or says literally anything. Don't you think these people are terrified? I do. That's about all. Peace out.